What made you choose architectural technology?
So I think the reason I chose architectural technology was because I knew I wanted to work in the construction industry, and from my time at school I quite enjoyed graphic communication, and I quite enjoyed the sort of CAD side of things, so I knew I wanted to work in an office.
I initially wanted to do architecture, but I couldn't get in, so I went down the path of architectural technology, and I am so glad that I chose architectural technology over architecture.
I was really interested in kind of drawings and all the artsy stuff, but also like the technical aspect of it too, kind of breaking that down and looking behind the skin and understanding how things are built up, made and kind of put together.
Yeah, I was always interested in buildings, but I wanted to learn more about actually how they functioned and how that almost like created the aesthetic as well of the exterior. So it was kind of a no-brainer to kind of pick this course and just learn more about that.
How would you describe the course in 3 words?
Constructive, detailed, a bit of artsy.
Challenging, interesting, creative.
Underrated, I think would be one of them. Innovative and informative.
How has the course changed the way you see buildings today?
Before I did this course, I would just look at buildings and think, oh, that's pretty or whatever. But after being on the course for 4 years, I can really appreciate what goes into a building, what actually makes it function, how it looks and how it makes people feel. And so it really had a big impact on me.
Okay.
I definitely take appreciation for newer buildings and older buildings. Especially on holiday, I tend to spend a lot more of my time kind of staring at everything, and that kind of definitely adds to the way I look at things in my surroundings.
Yeah, I mean, it's changed how I can look at something now and I can think how they actually done that, rather than just kind of looking at it and just being like, oh, that looks nice. It's more just kind of like actually looking further than behind, like what's actually it.
What advice would you give someone thinking of joining?
Enjoy it, to be honest. I think when you're first coming to uni, obviously it's overwhelming. You're getting used to a new environment, but you sort of settle in and you start to focus on your studies, and this isn't exam based, it's more project based, which I think gives you a lot of freedom and enjoyment. You know, you're working on your own project, which I think is really exciting, rather than sitting in a lecture for 4 hours being told to write notes. So yeah, I think there's a lot of benefits to taking this course that a lot of people don't know about.
Do it, it's a great course. The people are also one of the best parts as well.
I find it very detail orientated, very research based, and very up and coming. So you just really need to know what you're getting yourself into, and
What makes this course unique?
The course is unique in the sense that it's very much studio based, and we're trying to emulate office scenarios and real projects, and trying to get as many real projects on the go with real clients, and and try to get the students to understand the whole process of the built environment as well, which is unique in the sense that you don't get in very many other programs within architecture, built environment, or certainly other courses within the wider university.
So the first thing I would say is our facilities, and that we have kind of a purpose-built building on campus, which houses many different courses. So we've got architecture, we've got AT, QS, construction project management. So we've got all these different kind of skill sets within the building. So you get to mix with people that you might end up working with in industry. State-of-the-art workshops, digital fabrication areas, print suites, all those kind of things. And plus kind of wide variety of staff as well, with different expertise, different backgrounds, and different areas of construction that we've worked in before. So quite a rich environment currently.
What skills do students graduate with?
So problem solving skills, so that often with students we give them tasks and they need to search, they do lots of research and the answer is often not evident at the start, so they learn basically how to find solutions to complex problems, and again they have really good understanding of the industry and how things work in the industry because of the course links maybe to the industry. So we have many speakers from the industry, site visits, and so they are prepared to the industry. Digital skills, the courses they heavily oriented towards like digitalization, so most of our students have really good level of digital literacy. And they know how to use software such as Revit, and now going on to more advanced software such as IES and thermal bridging and Ruby, so they're really good at using digital technology to assess scenarios and such as solutions.
I'd like to say the skills are very much focused on architectural technology. That's our bread and butter, looking at the building technology, understanding the buildings, go together and work together, but also I'd like to think the students are leaders in the built environment, potentially working up their way up the ladder, let's say, into areas such as project management, but a kind of range of different areas and projects and disciplines, so that they are quite versatile in their employment and opportunities in employment in terms of progression up the ladder.
Why is architectural technology important today?
So there's a number of, I guess, bigger picture challenges with the likes of all the climate change emergency side of things. And the AT profession, we can begin to make a huge difference in terms of looking at how we currently build buildings, how we might improve our existing building stock, but also what we can do differently in the future. So whether that's looking at operational carbon of buildings, looking at embodied carbon, or maybe designing in a totally different way. So how do we design for deconstruction, or maybe even how we design with a more kind of circular approach. So what can buildings be used for afterwards, or what can components be used for afterwards. And that's all embedded within the AT course curriculum. So you're learning that from the get-go essentially.
It's never been more important in architectural technology. It's the potential for understanding buildings, how it goes together, the complexity of buildings, especially with larger scale buildings, is almost paramount. You need that somebody who understands how things go together in order to get the overall design ethos through. But this particular course focuses on sustainability as well, so that's going to be preeminent in the future of the built environment, reducing emissions from buildings and by building buildings, but also thinking about the circular economy of buildings, how they might be reused in the future.
That's perfect.
Ideal.
what advice you give to someone thinking of joining this course?
Buy an elf bar.